Welcome to the Ray Amanat Show with the talk of America.
And welcome to the Ray Amanat Show. You think I get the hang of all the buttons that I got to push to make this thing work? But hey, you are here on the Ray Amanat Show. I'd like to, as always, thank the OBBM Network for hosting us. All you have to do is go to the obbmnetwork.tv and you can see all of the other podcasts that they offer and check out or stream all of our previous shows that we've done. This is our 36th broadcast today. So welcome to our show sponsored by the obbmnetwork.tv. Today, let me bring this back up real quick. We have a sponsor, and that sponsor is PBP Web Design. If you guys remember, our previous broadcast was with James Durkin, who's the owner of PBP Web Design. If you are interested in having a website built, get a hold of James at pbpwebdesign.com. You can email him at jamesdurkin at pbpwebdesign.com, or his number is 727-457-5894. He is the one that designed my website, which if you go to rayamanat.com, you can kind of see his work and see what he's capable of doing. I think he did a fantastic job, but check him out. Now, this is going to be going to our Teachable Moment segment today. We've got a special guest, and again, this is not letting me get to where we go. So our Teachable Moment is going to be talking about business success with our special guest, Mr. Brett Lechtenberg. How you doing? Do you want to go by Brett, Mr. Lechtenberg? How would you like to be addressed?
Brett is just fine. Am I off mute? It showed me on mute there first.
Nope, you're good.
Yeah, Brett is just fine. Mr. Lechtenberg, that can be my dad.
So, Brett, just to kind of give our audience a little backstory about us, we've met through the martial arts. We went through the ITC camp, and that's International Training Commission under Tom Pateri, and that was in Jersey many moons ago. And that was more of an EP or executive protection training program. But you also have owned a martial arts school. Can you let everyone know your past and what you're doing with your present?
Sure. So, yeah, Ray, that was many moons ago. I'm glad that we both have as little gray hair as we do, since that was what we've got to be pushing 25 years ago that we went through that program together. Yeah, so I live in Sandy, Utah, which is a suburb of Salt Lake City, about 10 miles outside, but you can't really tell where Salt Lake ends and Sandy begins. And I've had a martial arts school here. It'll be 29 years, August 4th.
Wow.
That's a school I was operating, when we met back when we were both a lot younger and more handsome, at least me. And have gone through many stages, as most people have been business owners. I haven't worked day to day in the martial arts school in probably well over 15 years. I have a staff and a team, and they pretty much run the day to day. I handle pretty much staff training. I teach the black belt classes, the master's instructor classes, things like that, and spend a lot of my time outside the school these days helping other businesses implement many of the same systems that you and I are advocates for with discipline and self-control, and use that inside their business to help make them successful in their businesses.
100%. So you have a program that's called, let me bring this up, Total Success. And this is Brett's information. Those of you that want to get his email, his websites down. But Total Success Business Solutions. You
Yeah,
want to kind of talk to everybody about what that creation is?
sure. So really, I'll just kind of give you my perspective on business. I think a lot of people make business way overcomplicated, right? And it really boils down to some fundamentals, usually 6 to 7 pieces, depending on the business. And if we can nail those basic systems, we can create a true business where create a business that fuels our life, doesn't suck the life out of us. So we want to be able to teach business owners how to really fulfill their life's dreams, and their business essentially makes a great impact, a positive impact in the community, and allows them to fuel and finance the things that they also do. So many of the people I work with have aspirations of some type of philanthropy, or, as many martial arts school owners like yourself, Ray, you do a lot of good in the community with anti-bullying and safety programs and a lot of other things. Many business owners, even though not martial artists, have the desire to somehow make a positive impact in their communities. And so try and take the things like what you and I have done and be able to give that to them so they can do that. So when we do things like women's self-defense classes, that may not be their jam, so to speak, but they have something that they can do, and we help show them how to put that out in their local communities.
So they could be a sponsor for any of your events or our events.
They could be.
Right. With regards to that, and that's their way of giving back to the community.
Yeah.
Uh,
Every year we do a big toy drive at Christmas time. So
right.
we'll take all of our students, we'll divide them up into teams, and we create some friendly competition where the goal is to raise as many toys as humanly possible for kids in the community, right? And it could be toys or toiletries or whatever, but it's predominantly toys. And then we give those away to the local churches, shelters, wherever. We work in conjunction with the police department to help fuel their toy needs, schools, church, like I said. And so a lot of businesses would like to be able to do those type of things. They just don't really know where to start. So that's kind of an example of something we'll help them with as well.
So you and I both have this stigma as martial artists that we are one-trick ponies. All we do is kick, punch, put people in pain, whatever. What is one myth or a couple myths or misunderstandings about your area of expertise that you love to debunk?
Yeah, perfect question. I love it when people come in and again, they think we're about kicking and punching until I break down our leadership program and how we use martial arts as a vehicle to teach leadership, communication, community involvement to them or their children. Because once people experience that, they literally go, wow, I didn't even know something like this was possible. And that's been the cornerstone of our program for at least 27 of our almost 29 years. And
Right,
so we make it very obvious to people right off the bat. Kicking and punching is one thing, but we can teach a monkey how to kick and punch. We're going to
right.
teach your kids or you how to be a leader in the community. And I use only world-class business models from mastermind groups or other things that I've been a part of, trainings I've gone through. And it's a cohesive program for leadership and human development.
So I see that you are also very involved with the Chamber of Commerce in your community.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, is that another resource for you to help businesses?
Yeah, absolutely. So I've been part of a couple different Chamber of Commerce. Currently, the Chamber of Commerce I'm involved in, I was the chairman of the board for 2 years, and now I'm still on the executive board, but I head up the education committee. So I teach in the city of Murray, Park City, and Heber Valley chambers, all those chambers. They essentially adopted a business education program that I created along with a couple of my friends. And we rotate between these different chambers each and every month, teaching them on different topics. So, for example, in the month of March, everything was on AI for business, right? AI and
Nice.
in in April, the topic is all on leadership and team building, and so we'll go through team building trainings for them all month long. And each chamber kind of handles it a little bit differently. So, for example, in the city of Murray, we meet every single week, and we go over a bite-sized piece that our goal is we'll give you a small piece of the curriculum that you could go out and implement that week. And then when you come back to the next training, we'll give you the next piece and just keep implementing it.
Gotcha.
We're also going to be in Heber Valley this month where they have us teach at the university up there. They give us a room and we'll do everything over about a 2-hour block. So because that's about a 45-minute drive, we don't go up there each week. They come to us, they supply lunch, they do whatever they need to do to get there. And then we do the training over a couple-hour block, and then we'll see them again in a month. That way we're not driving back and forth. Does that make sense?
So, have you made this kind of a continuing education program so that they get CE credits for their business?
They don't get any CE credit, but hopefully they make a lot more money and have a lot bigger impact.
Well, that's the goal. That's the goal.
So,
What's the unique habit or practice you maintain that helps you contribute significantly to your success? What do you do? So I know we have to lead by example. You're out there teaching and talking to everyone. So, what is one thing that you do that leads by example for people to follow?
well, as martial artists, you and I, we know that being extremely disciplined and detailed is a big piece, right, to being
Right.
successful in anything. So my morning routine is extremely focused. I use a lot of flow state and peak performance habits. By trade and training, I'm a flow state and peak performance coach. And
You're
so
going to have to explain that.
okay. Well, so my day from 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. is nothing except dedicated to my success, the success of my business, or the people that I interact with. So I spend 4 solid hours every single day. That's Monday through Sunday. Proper nutrition, exercise, business education, personal fulfillment education, spending time with my wife, my family, all the things that I call the 5 pillars. They're all focused around that. And then from 9 o'clock on, that might be consulting with a business, or it might be going to my school, or it might be doing education for the chamber or whatever. But I don't do any of those things until I have totally filled my tank, because you know this well, this old martial arts proverb or parable about you can't pour from an empty cup, right?
Right,
And
right.
unfortunately, I think a lot of people try and do that, and that just doesn't work, not over the long haul anyway. So I make sure every day I fill my cup, and that's probably my biggest number one practice. And my wife, my family, everybody had to get tuned into that 25 years ago and just let me do my thing. And so that's my number one thing. I fill my cup every single day. So I can show up big wherever I'm at least as big as I'm capable of on that day.
Right. That is awesome. That's but that could be a struggle for some people. How do you help them work through the struggle of, boy, I just don't feel like committing today, or
Sure.
I mean, it is a lifestyle change, but how do you help somebody work through those struggles so that they become a new habit for them?
Yeah, so there's a lot of science behind habit creation and those kind of things. But in a nutshell, the very first thing I do with my clients, let's say a business owner, is I help them develop what we call guardrails. And that is, who are you when you're at your absolute best? And also, who are you when you're at your worst? And we kind of create this lane for them. and we stack these habits and systems that work really well for them, that put them at their best. And we identify the things that put them at their worst. And we go through a checklist like every day. And when I'm working with them, I meet with my clients twice a week, and I hit that checklist. And we gradually move people farther and farther towards their optimal. And we teach them recognition skills and ways to instantly see if they're out of that suboptimal habits for themselves, and give them a toolbox on how to put themselves back into that optimal self. And so it takes some practice, because no matter how much we want to be perfect, people are complicated and very unique. And so everybody's system's slightly different, but the habits that they create to move them towards their optimal self, once they see them and they embrace them and they know how to get back to them, it's like life changing, right? Because yeah, there's days you don't want to commit, but the pain of not committing becomes much greater than the pain of, getting out of bed that day and deciding to go ahead and commit.
So you just gave me a major visual
Okay.
that takes everything that you just said and puts it into action. Um, so you said you're talking about guardrails, and I'm thinking, okay, I'm bowling, and you have those gutter guardrails that people put up so that I don't get any gutter balls. You don't want people to fall into the gutter where they feel down about themselves or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're rolling the ball down, but the ball is hitting the gutter, hitting the gutter. You're going to hit some pins, but it might not be the outcome that you want. It takes the training and the practice to become laser focused to do the straight ball or the hook ball, to hit that money spot, to
Yep.
get that strike, and that's where you got your success.
Yep. And when you realize how to do that repeatedly, just like a bowler, whether they're a spot bowler, right? They've used the spots on the floor, or whether
Right.
they're going up off the pins. Once you understand how to hit that same spot, so to speak, every single time,
Mm-hmm.
you tend to start hitting the spot. Not every time, because we're not perfect, but you hit it vastly more than you would if you weren't tuned into that.
And that's where you see the successes throughout what I would call the game of life. I mean, it is a
Absolutely.
game.
Absolutely.
That is awesome. That's awesome. So, what trends do you see emerging that excites you with what's going on in our industry, whether it's martial arts or business? What do you see happening?
I think the biggest thing that's going to transform business, and it's already transforming business, is the implementation of artificial intelligence in a
Hmm.
manner that um, is going to allow business owners who adopt AI to give their customers and their clients and their potential customers and clients vastly more personalized service than they've ever been able to deliver before. And it's going to take away the routine, mundane things that nobody wants to do per se, and be able to allow us to work not, you've heard the old phrase, you work smarter, not harder. But
Right.
what's coming, people are going to actually be able to work higher, not just smarter. They'll be able to work on their big purpose even more. This is, something that I don't think, based on my experience teaching at all the different chambers, the average business owner has not embraced yet. But as the ones that have are seeing massive more productivity, they're seeing massive more cost savings. They're seeing massive more interaction with their clients, with them, not with technology, but with them. And that is a great thing, right? When you're teaching your students on the floor, I mean, true or a lie, you'd much rather be doing that, interacting with those students, interacting with their parents, their families, than bookkeeping in the office, right?
100%.
Yeah, and this is the kind of thing that artificial intelligence, AI agents, adding to automations already, is going to allow business owners to do on a bigger scale, like never
Right.
before scene scale.
That is 100% true. So let's talk about, you've got your email. So if you want to get a hold of Brett, go to Brett at brettlechtenberg.com. And then you have your website for, I'm going to have to put my glasses on to read these.
I got mine right here, so don't feel bad.
That's how old we're getting. But BrettLechtenberg.com and your personalmasterymartialarts.com. Let's talk about your, because I know you've got a bunch of books that you've written. Talk about this one real quick.
Yeah, Reclaiming the Clock is one of my business books. And it's all about using the science behind human effectiveness and tools to make you more effective. My whole life, I have never liked wasting time. And I like to be able to spend my time doing the things I want to do, whether that's spending time with my family, spending time with my clients, fishing, martial arts, whatever it is. I always wanted to know what is the truth behind that. How do we make it work? How does one person get to do so much when some people, spend their whole time kind of on the hamster wheel their whole lives? And so that's been a life study for me. And that's what's brought me around to flow, peak human performance. And everything in this book is based on how to maximize time and increase personal freedom.
That is awesome. And people can get your book on your website?
It's going to reroute them to Amazon. So you could find it on my website, but they just go to Amazon and they can get a Kindle copy or they can get it sent to them, a hardback.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. So we are coming up on the end of this show. Let me close out with our other sponsor, which is LifeWave. You can go to lifewave.com/Ray Amanat and learn all about the stem cell therapy patches. If you'd like to get a hold of me for more information, you know what to do. You can where are you? Go to the info at theRayAmanatShow.com and shoot me an email to get whatever information you'd like about LifeWave stem cell patches. Well, Brett, thank you for joining the Ray Amanat Show. We really appreciate it. Thank you for the information. You gave me some brain nuggets that I could use to, add to my teachings out here in Florida. And hopefully someday you and I can collaborate and do something together in the near future.
That would be fun. And Ray, thank you very much for giving me the honor of being able to be on your show. And I appreciate it. And if there's, of course, anything I can do for you or your listeners, they have my contact information. I'm happy to help.
I appreciate it. Thank you. All right, guys, signing out.
Welcome to the Ray Amanat Show with the talk of America.